Yo, so this is the Jewish yoga, right? So they're telling me lots of crazy things. They're telling me that, like, my mom is the truth serum, Lamed Shin Dalet, LSD in Hebrew, Lamed Shin Dalet, right? Right there is Lamed Shin Dalet. My mom is the truth because her name is Quayle, which means truth. So you have truth as Lamed Shin Dalet, which means that on the higher level, like in the spiritual world now, I'm being born, and so that's why there's always Lamed Shin Dalet. And one of the things that it taught in its visions and its patterns is not Vrikshasana as tree pose in yoga, but Ilanasana, because Ilan is tree in Hebrew, whereas Vrik in Hebrew would mean brick. So a brick is not a tree, it's an environmentalist pose. And if you have Ilanasana, it's like Ilanasana or Ilone, you're loaning, right? Trees come back every year, they grow, the leaves fall off, they come back, reminding them that even that energy is in a way loaned from the Creator. I think it kind of means that. And it's also like a loaning from the Hindu culture, that, the yoga isn't specific to one culture. Really, all cultures share it, and it comes from the place where we go beyond the limits and limitations of religion. So, and everyone has their gift. Like, this is our gift, for Hebrew tree pose, and it's like, for one, I would think of my friend Yashar. He's an awesome guy, he's a healer, as one of the tree. When I think of the tree, like a branch nearby, think of him, I think of Claire, right? That's why that's there. And so, what would the tree pose be? I feel like the true Ilanasana is when you blaze. Because when you learn Jewish yoga, you're learning to, basically smoke weed, give up the offering in the sacred way. And so the tree pose is actually like a destruction of a tree, and yet that tree is at the same time being created, because the creation and destruction aspects are just the male and female. That's why they talk about, like, on the tree of life, on the female side, there is, like a strength, a glowing, that represents its strength, and that's like the fire, and then on the male side, there's the greenness, like the fertility, the calm. And so you're bringing that together, and you're saying, as burns shall create. And that's what the tree pose really means. Like, if you're going through this experience, you're seeing, like, a lot of environmental stuff coming up, and it seems like abuse of the earth. It seems bad all around you. It's not like just within a yoga practice. It's your entire consciousness. That's the way I'm seeing it. And so the reason we're given this next form of the tree pose, Ilanasana, is to take us back and to bring all of that, which seems unrelated, and connect it back to the practice. Bring it together. It's like you're making a staff. You're bringing together both sides in oneness, and that's where you're coming to Lamed Shin Dalet, which is, you're kind of naming the tree yourself. You're bringing it back. It's oneness. It's not separate. Even though there's different ideas, they're all still connected because you're in that original consciousness. You know, it's no longer a form. It's like the spirit beyond the signs. No more signs are necessary. You're just coming back and it has an effect on the outside. And so then it's like you can use the creation, you know? You can eat of the creation, but it doesn't mean it has to be destroyed as long as you're respecting it properly. That will mean that it always returns again and you'll always be innocent, you know? When you can, you know, if you smoke weed, if you can blaze with timimut, with innocence, it's not a lot of inner dialogue, or especially a lot of outer dialogue. Though inwardly you may meditate, it's like attune and align yourself to the sage, rather than like, you know, mainstream, more recreational, or irreverent. You know, it can be fun, but it's still sacred. And that is part of the Jakukot, which are divine laws regarding entheogenic use in the movement of the deity through modes such as Lamed Shindalet, and through modes such as the various permutations that you can encounter eventually through this kind of meditation. Like, even though I'm sitting in a room, actually all of this corresponds with the force of the world, and it can show you how all processes ultimately have to do with a heavenly economy that is not in any way out of balance. And it's the understanding which gives us rooting and strength, rather than, you know, just ability to make it all look on the exterior good immediately. We first have to understand why, though we see something that seems bad, perhaps it's not that way after we've taken action against it and after we've prayed. May this not be out of balance. It comes to us to understand that it's actually the divine, highest vibration teaching us this kind of mystical spiritual law that then gives us health always, rather than saying, I shall do this small thing, but you shall have no understanding. It's a great thing, and it imparts great understanding. So it is true. That's what it is. And then, you know, you have endless. That's when the herb comes to you. That's when you go to the herb. That's when you hug the tree. That's when nothing bad comes from that. There's no judgment, because the earth itself is an angel and it understands all that we do. So that's Ilanasana. You can do it in Hebrew. You can do it as yoga poses. I'm responsible for my own healing. I can do it if I find the inner strength in myself. That's the teaching of the yoga. And I do it because I realize that cannabis is a part of my own inner soul, and I'm only seeing it ecstatic in my dream. And by meditating with that inner information, it can bring me back to wholeness. Because what I'm saying is that the self is everything. Barak the self. Barak Ya Chida. Ilanasana.